welcome back. So we just got confirmation yesterday that our new additions will be here within the next 3 days. So we have 10 Australorp chicks coming, and then we have 5 broiler birds coming. So they will be joining our flock. We're obviously going to keep the meat birds separated. They're going to be in their own tractor, and then the new Australorps will be in a coop that will coincide with the 11 other hens that we have. So that will make our total egg laying flock up to 21 now. So the kids and I today are going to be getting their brooder boxes ready, and we are going to be putting those in the garage until those birds have their feathers, or until the weather is warm enough where they could be outside and in the yard. So we're going to get that started today. These are our containers that we use for our brooder boxes. You can use literally any box that you have that has sides on it and is either plastic or metal, but I use this one, which is just a container that we had left over, big enough for these chicks to stay in, where I don't need to put a lid on it because they shouldn't be in the brooder box for that long. But if I do, then I'll just use the lid and some chicken wire to make a lid for that one. And then this is just a feeding trough that we use. Obviously this one is a lot taller than the plastic tub, so they do not jump out of this one, and like I said, they won't be in here long enough where they would really need a lid. But for right now, I just need to get these cleaned up and we will get them set up in the garage. Now we fill our brooder box with large flake pine shavings, because if you use anything finer, and I'll show you what we use, but if you use anything finer than this, you're going to run into an issue of the chicks suffocating. So you want to make sure that you're using a large flake while they're tiny, but then once they get older, you can definitely use that finer shavings in their coop and stuff like that. But in the brooder box, you definitely want to make sure that you're using that large shaving. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up these 2 boxes and get everything else set up for these chicks. Why I added in those blocks is because it just elevates their food and water, so that way it's not laying right into the bedding, and then it gives less chance of it going into it and me having to change it all the time. And then if they get bigger while they're in here, because last year we had to keep them in for a while, but if they get any bigger, I'll actually end up hanging the food and water so that way they can't get bedding into it. And then I give them this little roost. Chicks actually like to play around, so this gives them a little entertainment. And then I might even throw some sticks in here just to let them play. So that's all that we do for the inside. It's nothing too fancy. It's just Rochambeau. Here's your water, here's your food. Have fun until they get all of their feathers in where they can go outside into the yard. Now, as far as the light goes, what we do is we put it on cinder blocks and then we stick the light onto a pole that goes inside of the cinder blocks in the little squares. So it makes it a lot more stable, but then it's also really easy to adjust the height of the light. Now with it being springtime, obviously they probably won't need the light near as long, but again, it just allows us to adjust it nice and easy. All right, we got a confirmation this morning that the chicks came, so my husband went and picked them up at the post office. So my daughter and I are headed out to go meet him and my son to go pick them up. Here they are in their little box. So we'll open it up and see how they're doing. Hey, here they are. So we did end up with all 5 of our meat birds, but unfortunately 2 of our Australorps did die on the way here, so I'll be calling the hatchery to get those 2 replaced. But so far they seem to be doing really well. They like their little heat lamp and drinking up their water, so hopefully they'll figure out their food here. If not, I'll train a couple of them to find it, and then they should be good to go. So this is their new home for a little bit till they get a little bigger. So a little update on the chicks. These are the ones from the hatchery. They are doing excellent. Those meat birds are getting very big very quickly. They've been here about 2 weeks, but they seem to be adjusting nicely. They're still in that phase of freaking out whenever you try to go in and grab one of them to hold them, but they'll get better as they get older. Now, as far as those 2 that we lost in shipment, what we ended up doing was going to our local feed store, and she had 14 hens ready to go, and we just grabbed 2 of them. So these 2 are Buff Orpingtons that we are going to add to the flock. So they're going to make up for those 2 Australorps that we lost during shipment. The hatchery wouldn't replace them, but they did refund me, so I went ahead and just did that and used the refund to get these ladies. So obviously they are a little bit older. They are almost feathered out. I'd give them maybe another week or 2 and they should be ready to actually head out into the run. I don't think I'll put them with the birds that we currently have because they are still young and I don't want them to get hurt during the pecking order. So we'll just keep them separate for now, but there they are. They're doing great and they are just thriving. I will see you guys next time. Bye.